Welcome back. It's been a little while. I haven't been brewing and doing so much beery stuff. We're thinking of moving, so we've been working on the house. The brewing area, which doubles as the garage, or the garage, which doubles as the brewing area, has been too much of a mess to really use. So let's talk beer. This is a rebrew of the G70 Imperial Stout I did some time ago. When the G70 was due to be released, Malt Miller invited me down to brew. What I did is I wanted to make full use of the G70, but I didn't want to walk away with 70 litres of beer. And as most of you will know, my love of Imperial Stouts, I decided I'll brew a high gravity Imperial Stout and make use of the volume in the G70 that way. I had a look around on the American Homebrewers Association site. If you're a member of the AHA, you can pick up their award-winning or medal-winning recipes from there. So I went through, looked around, found a medal-winning recipe for an Imperial Stout that sounded really good. Made a few tweaks because we all know you can't get exactly the same ingredients here that you can in the US or Australia or whatever. More on that in a minute. And the G70 Imperial Stout was born. I brewed it with Rob at the Malt Miller and it came out lovely. There's a tasting video which I'll link up here or there'll be a link somewhere so you can see the original G70. About 6 months ago I rebrewed it. This time on the 50 litre Brew Devil at home, and this is what came out. So it's still a very rich, decadent, malt forward, puncher in the face Imperial Stout. The type of one that I love. Imperial Stout's one of these weird ones where it's quite difficult to actually fall out of style. The style's so wide it ranges from really heavy malt forward to really fruity. Well, this is right up the malt forward end. So, okay, there's a lot of roast malt there, as you'd expect. If you see the recipe, which I'll link down below in the description, you'll see there's, I think it's 11 malts in this one. I actually had to get Malt Miller to increase the number of malts they allowed in their recipe builder before I could put this recipe into the system. Chocolate, coffee. When I say chocolate, it's a restrained dark chocolate or bitter chocolate. It's not the sweet milky kind. This version is coming across a little sweeter than the one I did on the G70. Whether that's some different... There was no intentional difference in the mash profile, but whether that is some difference caused by the heating up and cooling down of the one or other machine, I'm not sure. And it's not quite as full-bodied. This version also feels a little less heavy on the alcohol. For those of you who have been following the channel for a while, you'll probably know I've gone through my stages of being really into building the equipment, really into testing all the variables, into the earthy side of it, and into the just lazy brewer side. I've gone through all those stages. I'm now at the stage where I don't tend to do tests all the time. So I don't know what the OG was, and I don't know what the FG was, but I know it's good beer. So yeah, it's still a good beer even after the rebrew. I do think I preferred the first version. The first version had a little bit more of an assertive bitterness, a little bit less of that sweetness, which, how can I put it? it makes this version of the beer feel a little bit flabbier. It could just do with a little bit more edge on it. But other than that, all the malt flavours are still there. Right, a couple of other things to talk about. And then I'll move on to a homebrew tasting. Nathan Edwards very kindly dropped round a mossed AIPA some time ago. No fault of his own. It's been here a while. I haven't tried it yet. I was waiting on a delivery from Grain Fair that never arrived that I was going to talk about at the same time. So let's give this one a go. See what it's like. Mossed is an interesting new... I say mossed, I could be... It's got those diacritics above the O. I could be totally mispronouncing it, but I call it mossed. It's a very interesting hop. Now, it's described as a strawberry bubblegum, tropical fruit, and a fresh aroma. I'm definitely getting some ripe tropical fruit. There is a hint of that fake strawberry bubblegum, but it isn't too strong. Or at least not in the aroma. That being described as the first descriptor given, I expected it to be stronger. It's a dual purpose hop. You can use it for bittering or aroma. It's available from a few places now, but it is a newer hop. Okay, let's get stuck in. Ooh. Now that's interesting. Okay, right. Whilst there is that element of the strawberry bubblegum, and if you don't know what I mean, think Hubba Bubba, something like that, that funny pink bubblegum. There is that element of it on the nose, but it's a lot stronger in the flavour, or retronasal, where you swallow, breathe in through your mouth and breathe back out through your nose. It's a lot stronger that way round than it is just wafting it in from the glass. The tropical fruit is there. There's papaya, guava type aromas going on. Which go through into the aftertaste lovely. I'm sure Nathan did say he'd either told me the recipe or he would tell me the recipe. I don't know what it was off the top of my head. As I say, unfortunately, it was some time ago. But there is plenty of malt there. It's not all hop. The malt holds up against the hop nicely, but this is all about me trying mossed for the first time and seeing if it's a hop I'd like to use. And yes, it very much is a hop I would like to use. I'm not really getting any citrus because that's the other descriptor given, tropical citrus. But I get the feeling that it would pair lovely with a more citrusy hop. So that's probably something I'm going to be trying. Mossed, maybe Citra, maybe Vic Secret, maybe Galaxy. Give it a bit more fruit. Give it a real hit. That is very nice, Nathan. Thank you very much. As I say, it is a few months old now, so the aroma may have changed slightly since when you did it. If I was to brew your recipe, I'll probably just up the late hops a little bit or mix it with a more citrusy hop just to cut that edge a bit, give it a bit more bite, if that makes sense. But lovely beer, thank you. Now, over the past few months, a few folks have sent me stuff. So coming back to what I was saying about not always being able to get the same ingredients here that our fellow homebrewers can in other countries. Tom Coughlin, apologies if I pronounce your surname pronunciation. I'm terrible at pronunciation. Very kindly sent me a few packs of Briess special malt, special roast to give a try. This is one that I haven't been able to get in the UK. It's described as toasty, biscuity, sourdough and tangy. So it's used alongside other malts as a specialty malt, not your base malt. I think it's supposed to be, and don't quote me on this, I think it's supposed to be similar to Double Roast Crystal maybe. But we're going to be giving that a try. And finally, a handmade mash paddle, which was sent to me by Kerry Lee on Facebook. They reached out to me. She said she watches the channel, loves the stuff we do. Her husband makes mash paddles. I'd like to send me one. I did what I normally do, which is immediately go back and say, thank you very much. However, I do have to let you know straight up that I will not promise it will be featured in a video. I won't promise it will be used or the source declared or anything. And she's like, no, don't worry about that. It's not to get it on video. It's because we like what you do. We'd like to send you something that you can use. And this one I do like. In the past, I've bought a stainless steel spade style one, which did not fit in the all-in-one brewer I use. So it made it very difficult to use and I ended up having to get rid of it. This one is wide enough that it moves the malt around the mash effectively, but it doesn't get in the way between the overflow pipe and the side of the malt pipe. So thanks very much for sending that to me. I have mentioned it because it's turned up, it's nice workmanship, and I will actually be using it. I haven't mentioned it simply because it was sent to me. So if you want to see what they do, they've got a range of all different styles, shapes, sizes. They're on eBay with the seller handle Tats GSM, Tats-GSM. I'll put a link down below in the doobly-doo and you can look them up. So other than that, what's been happening? We did the live stream series on beer judging, which went down really well. A lot of interest in it. After 8, 9, 10 episodes, I felt it run its course. Maybe next summer we'll do another one if people are interested again with different beers. Maybe in the winter we'll try and do some winter beers like maybe some Imperial Stouts. I know Dan Walters, lovely beer person, great beer judge. I know you'd love to see some Imperial Stout sessions. And the trouble with that is commercial Impy Stouts are hard to get. You can get them from bottle shops, you can get them from specialty shops, you can get them online direct from breweries, e.g. Origin Story, direct from Siren. But they don't tend to turn up in supermarkets, and when they do, it's like you'll get it in some branches of one supermarket, not in multiple supermarkets. And that's what we tried to do with the beer judging course. We tried to make sure you could get the beer we were doing that week in at least 2 of the 3 or 4 main supermarkets in the UK, just so everyone had a chance to join in. We did that. That was great fun. And now we're looking forward to BrewCon. I've been told it is going ahead. It's going to be the end of October, start of November time. Date hasn't been announced yet. I hope it doesn't conflict because we're away right at the end of October. If it doesn't conflict, I'll be there and I look forward to seeing you. If it does conflict, sorry, I won't be able to make it this year for the first time ever, which will be a disappointment. Anything else to talk about? I don't think so. I have kind of lost my brewing mojo a little bit. I haven't been brewing for some months. I haven't found the motivation for it. With clubs not meeting, with competitions not happening, with me having to cancel the Welsh again this year, just the motivation to brew hasn't been there. But I put a post out on Facebook asking what motivated other people. And they've sent me loads of great suggestions. So I'll put a video together about that so that you can see all the things that help other people get their brewing mojo on and start brewing again. And I'm going to be brewing again soon. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do down below. And I'd appreciate it if you can give us a thumbs up on the video, because especially for us smaller YouTubers, that really helps a lot. It really helps keep us motivated and producing content for you. All the best.